And welcome back. Thanksgiving, about 2 weeks away.
And many people are already putting together their meal plans.
Now, in addition to food, of course, the drinks, the wine.
And we're joined by Paul Santoriello of Door Peninsula Winery. Paul, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
There are so many different wines. They're sweet and savory. How does one go about pairing wines, or when they're just beginning cooks thinking about it?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, because we do some food and wine pairing at the winery, and we're starting to transition into the sweeter wines, the semi-sweet wines, with pairing with food. And Thanksgiving is a perfect time to open that opportunity. Because there's so many flavors on the plate and it's such a big dinner, there isn't one wine that'll carry you from appetizers all the way through main course.
Doesn't have to be white, doesn't have to be red. Can it be a little bit of both and you sort of phase your way through the meal?
I think you mix it up, right? Because there's a lot of flavors and there's a lot of personal tastes, and you have guests that come over, and you should have some kind of a variety.
Yeah. And you brought an example of some wines for Thanksgiving that you think will work well with certain pairings.
Yeah, and you're right. It's supposed to be fun. Fruit wines are lively. They carry some acidity, and that makes them fruit friendly. And that's important when you're doing Thanksgiving dinner wines. So like a white wine would carry a higher acidity sometimes than a red wine. And these wines you could find in the Milwaukee market. That's why I brought them today. Something like cranberry apple, for instance. It carries some acidity, it has some fruitiness, so it works well with food. It causes a balance on the plate, because the food doesn't necessarily have a lot of acidity to it. It's roast turkey.
Yeah, so it's simple food.
You know, with sauce. So that will complement something on the plate that needs some acidity, and it cleans your palate as you drink it.
Of course, California has a reputation for wine country, but Wisconsin is also becoming wine country, isn't it?
It's growing. About 5 wineries are added every year.
It's amazing. Now, Paul, you also brought some winter wines to talk about as we go into Christmas. And this is always fun for a lot of people because they feel more festive with these kinds of wines.
Sure. Friends drop over. You open a bottle of wine. Relatives come into town. So we have a white wine, a red wine, which is a cherry wine, and the one on the end here is a mulled wine, which is a spiced wine. You're supposed to heat it up, gently heat it up.
Really?
And it's a spicy, it's a cherry wine to begin with, but we add a cinnamon and nutmeg backbone to it.
Sounds like fun, especially as winter weather pushes in.
Yep, yeah, and you could blend other things with that wine, like fruits, cloves, and just make your own additions to it. Make it fun.
Like fun.
Yeah, you really do whatever pleases your own personal palate.
Exactly. Have fun with it. Enjoy it.
We appreciate it. Paul Santoriello, Door Peninsula Winery. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
And we put more information on our website, tmj4.com/Wisconsin Tonight.